Hi, guys. Welcome to our sixth episode of Mentors of Script. I'm so excited. This is my turn this time, to host the live podcast we're doing, the live show. And you know what? I thought I'll spin things around and I'll come up with something a little bit different. Something that some of you may expect, some of you may not expect, but I know all the other panelists are dying to get stuck in. So obviously, if you already have followed us on Instagram or on all our social media channels, you probably have seen, that we have a bit of a challenge this evening for us, and obviously for some of you out there as well, or for all of you, who are watching us or who will be watching us in the future. And the challenge I gave to ourselves, this time round is imagine in this day and age, or in this present moment, we have three choices, right? So basically, one of the choices is, as you've seen on our poster, is we have three choices because we have to open three doors, right? And one of them says on it soulmate. So when you open that door, behind it, you're going to find your soulmate. You're going to find, this amazing person that you dream maybe all your life or up until this moment, and you can achieve anything you want on a personal level and maybe professional level or anything you ever wanted. Then on the other, if you were to grab the handle and enter the other door, you're going to find 70 million pounds, right? How amazing is that? 70 million in cash or in the bank, however you like it. Just imagine it. What would you do with it, and why would you take that money? And the other option, is to enter through another door. It's a time machine, right? And honestly, I know some of our panelists, in there are into all of these amazing things like universe, space, and they read a lot, they research a lot, and I know some of them, might be excited to be able to travel, and go back in time or go forward in time. I don't know. You let me know. But I'm definitely excited to find out, what everybody, thinks about. And obviously, I do want to welcome all our panelists back on. Of course, you do know Myresh, you do know Peter, you know Vishal, Minde, and Reese, right? So exciting time. Evening, everybody. Yeah.
Evening,
Hello,
evening.
hello.
There we
Guys.
go. Awesome. I thought, I'll get stuck in, and I'll start with what I would choose right now, right? If I had, all those three doors, and you know what I would choose? I would choose for once, the pragmatic side, right? And because I had time in all this lockdown, to write down loads of personal goals, guess what? I would choose the 70 million pounds,
Yes,
right?
Alice.
Go on, Alice.
Get in,
Big
yes.
spender.
I feel like my eyes right now are like, when you go to the casinos, Vishal,
The
I'm sure
jackpot.
he knows what exactly. And
How
then
would Vishal know? How would
Vishal
Vishal
would
know?
know. I trust Vishal. And like my eyes, it's like I hit the jackpot, and my eyes see all those dollar signs and all those, pounds in there. But yeah, I would choose the 70 million, right? I would do loads of things. I've got a long list in there. And obviously, as we have plenty of time this evening, I can tell you, what I would do with it and why I wouldn't choose, the other bits and bobs, or the other choices. But I'm going to throw now, the challenge to. Let's see, I haven't really planned who to go first, but I'm just going to imagine I spin, a little, I don't know,
Roulette.
a little
Go on.
roulette in there.
Roulette.
There you go.
Carry on with the gambling.
So let's go to Rhys. Right, Rhys, what would you choose?
Cool. Right. I think I would choose 70 million as well. I truly believe, yeah, I would.
Yay!
I was kind of... It is one of those things. I know me and Minda are speaking about something totally different about Devil's Advocate and stuff like this, but I was kind of playing it with myself earlier, and I was like, 70 million, would I not? And I think it's more for the things of going back in time, whether it's cheesy or whether it's not. But I don't see a point in needing to go back in time, because I find myself obviously I've got a lot more in me, and I've got a lot more in the tank, but I've got to where I am right now from doing what I've done. I don't think I need to go back and correct much. And yeah, if you're talking about going back to Stone Age or something like that, yeah, it'd be quite cool, but we wouldn't survive in that kind of time. Things like Soulmate, I'm not going to go down all that cheesy route, and I found my soulmate and all this. But
You haven't?
Ooh.
if Lena's watching right now, I need
I was
to
about to say, Lena.
get the ring
Where
ready.
is Lena?
let me rewind and go back in the time machine for saying that. What I meant is that I've already got who I need. I don't need to go back in time to find a soulmate. I don't need to open a door to find my soulmate because I have my soulmate and I'm happy with who I'm with. 70 million. I don't know, I'm quite interested to hear what everyone else is going to say, because for me personally, I think if you don't choose 70 million, I think you're mad.
Yeah.
I think you're mad.
So does that give you a bit of advantage, Reese, that let's say you're already with your love of your life, it makes the choice a bit easier because almost one door's not available to you?
Technically, yeah. I guess it would probably be a bit more open for people who maybe have not found the love of their life. Then
struggling.
I guess there's probably two options then to go through from there. But I think even if I didn't, being very honest, even if I didn't, it depends on how the kind of end game is looking, you know. If it means that, because again, could you find your love of your life on the way? Or does it mean that I would never have the love of my life? That's the thing.
What if it meant you had to give up what you got right now for the 70 mil?
Oh, if you had to give up Soulmate.
I think I've got internet problem, guys. I might have to.
I think we all would
You
have.
need a time machine right
Forgot his
now.
life.
You need a time machine now, yeah.
Stick a sock in it.
How about you, Vishal? What would you choose? What would you choose?
So I mean, like always, I'm quite exact in my answer, and you know, it's a hard choice, right, between love of your life, potentially no money, a lot of money, potentially not the love of your life, and I don't see how anyone could choose anything other than the time machine and go back. And if you go back to a certain point, you still meet the partner. If you have one right now, you still meet that person, and that still takes its own journey and process as it was, except now you're armed with a lot more information about different things. I'm into sports. You know, there was a crazy thing that happened about 5 years ago. Leicester won the Premier League at odds of 5,000 to 1. You know, you put 100k into that, times it by 5,000. You know, in those space of 10 years, you could have way more than 70 mil. Now, I don't obviously brush off 70 mil, but 70 mil versus 10 billion is two very different stories. I mean, that's literally like £70 versus £10,000 or something like that. So why would I not go back, knowing the information I know now about stock markets, about sporting events, about things that can happen in a casino, about Bitcoin? Why would I not go back to the day before I met my partner, meet her, still get that.
Minda's your partner.
Get more than 70 mil, and then use my information to get way more than 70 mil.
Can I say one thing, okay?
Go for it.
You know, when I talk about rules before, actually, if anyone would have just tuned in like 10-15 minutes before we went live, there was literally a fight in here.
We wasn't going to have the life.
Like, yeah, thank God we're not in one room, okay? Because the people were literally kind of getting each other's heads, you know, or heads, you know, throats, whatever. But you know what? One thing what I do assume though, if you do have a time machine, I do assume you're not able to get it through. So which means, for example, if you was to be presented a time machine right now, you would have to wipe out 2 or 3 years of your life. I think Marish mentioned that. So for example, if I was to go back, let's say, to school, you know, thinking of time machine, and I think if I would have known what would happen in my life in the next kind of 5, 10, 15 years, I probably wouldn't be very kind of nice, cute, humble, friendly kid. I could have been a proper dick, you know, thinking that I'm going to learn all those things, make all the money, whatever, right? But the point is, I would have to live again. And I think Marish mentioned, like, I mean, Vishal, if you was to go back, let's say the same Leicester saying, right? Would you like to give back again a year or 2 years of your life and to start reliving again? Or would you be okay with that?
I think...
Because I think what I assume that from time machine, you can't go back in past, let's say win a lot of money, and you can't bring that money anymore. You will have to start living again.
I'll have to relive it again, point. Yeah. So yeah, I think
no?
in the case of billions, reliving 5-10 years of your life is an okay cost to me. So if I could I'm 30 now, and I had to go back to when I was 20 and then relive the last decade, to know that I could then have 10 billion at my current age, I think I would happily pay that price. I'd happily relive the experiences. I'd happily redo everything again. You know,
I've got a question for you, Fish, on that.
Go on,
I've got a question for you on that.
Go on, Rhys.
Seems you threw one at me. So, let's say you could use your time machine to go back here. Now, obviously, the 70 million is inevitable because you'll probably make that in your life, or with or without going back in on the time machine. But if you went back in the time machine, which means those other two ones were then knocked out, so you couldn't.
So is
the
the
love of your
only
life.
purpose was time travel because it's cool to go see different areas of life, basically?
No. So I mean, you can still go back in time, knowing stuff like Leicester and knowing stuff like
Yeah.
I don't know, Bitcoin or things like that. So you have the knowledge now,
Yeah.
but whoever your partner is, you have no idea they exist. So then you go back in time, and you have to relive those 10 years. But you and your partner don't know each other. But there's not that knowledge in your head going, cool, but I know who she is. I can go meet her. But when you go back, it just wipes that memory out for you.
And
So-
there is a
Do it.
chance to miss her, basically. It
There's
doesn't
a
mean
chance
you
to
will
miss
miss
her,
her,
but there's a chance to meet her as well.
By the
You
way,
never know.
she's listening right now, so I have to be very careful what I say as
Sorry,
well,
mate.
right?
Hey,
So,
just be yourself. Be yourself.
no, so
She
We
knows.
throwing
actually
a plan in
have
the works,
we
but
actually
I'm
have
gonna
a
throw
wheel,
this-
guys. Yeah, we actually
Yeah.
have a wheel, just so you know. Yeah, that we can actually spin to see where we go to. But before that, Vishal, please continue your idea. I think it was
Why
really
does the
good.
wheel have our names on?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's our turn to
I
special.
know it's
wheel.
really cool because it's a special. It's a special episode.
So Reese, you
Yeah,
tried to
go
throw
on,
a spanner
Alice.
at me, but I'm gonna throw a spanner back at you, Reese. Right?
As soon as you answer, no worries.
I met my partner 14 years ago. I only need to rewind time about 8 years to
Right,
make what I
Vish.
want to make.
You have to rewind
Michelle, I
15
feel
years.
My partner's well about.
He can't-
So wait, hold
20
on,
years
hold on,
later,
hold on,
yeah.
hold on,
He
hold
can't
on.
read.
What
He
happened
can't
to the
bet.
people that said no rules, and now the rules are coming one after the other?
No,
after
no,
the
no,
other,
no,
after the other?
no, no. It's true. No, you're right. You're right.
You tell.
And
them,
I
you
was
tell
the
them.
I was the
You tell
dickhead
them,
trying to
Phil.
make rules, and now you're telling me that no, but this, but no, but that, but no, but this, but no, but that.
All right, all right, all
Go on
right.
then.
Well,
So
well,
15
That was the
years
idea.
now.
We need to roll.
I want to
No,
bring
you're right,
the
though.
spin, right? I want to bring the spin and see, who else, we can go to, because I'm really curious to see what the other panelists think. Let's see.
Oh, that's
Vivek.
fixed.
It's a big one,
That
this
is
one.
fixed.
Fixed.
That's fixed.
I saw it glitched.
That's
Oh,
a great
there's a little
website, by
pause
the
for you
way.
as well.
That's a great website. I've done a competition with that before. It's great.
And that's actually a really good website. So, yeah, what shall I pick? It's actually interesting one for me. Actually, it sounds really bad. I'm happy with everything. I would like to pick anything. The same thing, like 70
Don't need
million
no
would be
bonuses.
probably the only thing that I think would affect my life the least, and I probably would pick that, because I think I already worked hard to make some money, so I'm not scared that 70 million would probably affect me into a point that I might get into some situations where I wouldn't know how to handle. Soulmate, like in this particular point, again, like Vishal said, I probably met like nearly 20 years ago now, and I think I paid my dues and I had my sufferings prior to that, and I think I earned that right to a certain degree, which I think I'm earning still every day. Time machine would be fun. Actually, I might pick time machine just for fun, just to travel up and down kind of thing and to see what happens. But would I like to go back in time and do something different? I don't think so, because I think that every mistake I've made, or whoever I was in the past, allowed me kind of gradually, step by step, to turn into a person I am right now. And I think everything should be done naturally, because I think if you make money too fast without realizing the value of money, I think that can change you as a person, and I would like to change. I think I'm happy the way I am. I'm not happy to stay the way I am, but I'm happy to keep on progressing with the speed of my progress, if that makes any sense. It's like if you're working out and your muscle catches up with you kind of thing as you're pushing yourself. I wouldn't like to get superpowers tomorrow, because I think I will cause a lot of damage kind of thing. So yeah, would I like to go back and relive? I personally would not take time machine to relive. I would not sacrifice even 10 months. I would not like to go back and live again from any stage of my life, even 6 months. Even actually, the same, in the last 12 months, stock gone crazy, like even Tesla or the same Bitcoin, even just, it's like you said, it's enough 10 months, right? To go back 10 months and put your whole money.
With enough knowledge, yeah.
Even, just knowing a couple of stocks kind of thing, like you would make a lot of money. But then at the same time, I don't know, would I appreciate the money? Would I be able to stay in my business? Would I be able to push people? Would I be able to demand standards from myself and from people if I got my money really easily kind of thing, if that makes sense? I don't know.
But are
Maybe
we are we then saying, Minde, that the time machine is not to go relive anything, and you can't profit off of it? The time machine is purely just to have something that fucking cool that you can go back 100 million years to see some dinosaurs. You can go back 100 years to go see Charles Dickens. You can
And
go
if you
in the
can bring
future.
people with you, you can make money as well. So.
Yeah.
So
Take-
so
Are
you
we
know
saying-
No,
what I
think
understand. Oh, sorry, Mide, go on.
for fun, I would take time machine just to see places, kind of thing, right? But I think sometimes it's best not to know too much of past or future, if that makes any sense. I don't want to sound too sort of weird or something, but all I'm trying to learn right now is how to stay in the present all as much as I can. And I think when you go in the past and try to fix something in the past, it's not fair. Like, it's not fair. My teenage me had to have his own teenage shit, kind of thing, The entrepreneur that lost all his money a couple of times had to lose all the money initially to run, to get rid of fear of losing money. Later on to realize it doesn't fucking matter anymore, you know what I mean? Because I'm gonna make it again. And if I'm gonna try to avoid all those things, I will never be who I am, kind of thing, you know what I mean? And 70 mil, yeah, I think 70 mil in the bank account will be cool. Yeah, if for fun, I would take time machine just for fun, but I would not like to go. I don't want to know what's in the future because I don't think anyone can. That's just my opinion. Like, when people say, I can tell your future, fuck you. Like, how can you tell my future? I can't even tell my own future. You don't know what decisions I'm going to make. You can tell me my potential future, but nobody, like, there's no miracles to tell my future because as a human, as a soul, I always have, I don't give a shit what percentage. You can tell me 90% of my life is predetermined. That's cool, but I still got 10%. And the 10%
Minde,
is
this
enough.
is an imaginary world. It's an imaginary world where you could go in the future.
Yeah, but that's true. But what I'm saying, my imaginary world, if I was to go to the future, will be based on decisions I keep on making, isn't it? Does it make sense? So I will go to the future based on specific decisions I make, and I'll go to the future and think, oh my God, my future is really bad. Let me go back and fix it, kind of thing. That's true, but my future then will change, if that makes any sense, right? And I think, I don't know, I'm not really that scared of, I don't know, I'm not saying I don't want to die now, but I don't think the purpose of this life is to have a bigger house, a bigger car, or more zeros in a bank account. I think for me, the purpose of my life is to keep on learning and developing skills and creating something, right? So I'm in that creative process, which I'm happy to be in. I'm not trying to chase some sort of result. So if I want the result, I could go in the future, but what's the point? Would you like to die today if you knew you're going to die as a billionaire? So they say, you're going to die as a billionaire, but you're going to die in 2 weeks. I don't want to live 2 weeks as a billionaire. I'd rather live, 50 years as a guy, traveling towards a billionaire, if that makes any sense, innit?
Very true.
So
Yeah,
the result
that's
is
a
not
good-
actually as important. I think we all trying to get a result, innit? So it's like, you'll be a billionaire, but do you want to arrive to that destination? I don't know. I don't.
On this note that you said we're traveling to the future, when I actually proper thought about would I choose, I never thought of choosing the time machine to go in the future. If I was to choose it, I would
That's
only
what I
choose
was
it
thinking, yeah.
to go backwards. But I don't think I'm that eager to go forward that much because I still want to enjoy every moment, like you said, in the present as well, with good and bad and all the positives and challenges that come as well. But yeah,
then-
let's see. So
Yeah.
Oh, go on, Peter.
Yeah, no, but then if you travel at the back, if you travel in the past,
Backwards.
then you would know the future anyway. So you actually travel both ways.
That's a good point. That is a really good point.
That's deep
Well,
shit.
on this note, Peter, obviously we wanted to spin the wheel, but obviously you already made your appearance.
If it's Peter
Oh,
next,
let-
then it's
let-
definitely
let's see.
fixed.
Let's see what
Definitely
fate
fixed.
It is fixed.
There you
Shut up,
go.
Peter.
No, it's
is
not.
fixed.
They heard me.
All right.
That's fine.
Let's hear
I'm
from Irish.
Okay.
Don't clap. Don't clap.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for the clap. Right. Okay, cool. So I've kept quiet. I've got a lot of opinions on this, yeah? So let me fire away. Cool. Fine. So in process of elimination, if I was to begin, personally, I think everything that you do in life comes down to the what you make out of the life in the end. And I think sharing it with someone is obviously a very, very important thing. I think things lose its value unless it's been shared with someone. So I think it's very, very important to have a soulmate. And I probably would think it's probably the most important in terms of getting. However, would I pick it? No, I wouldn't pick it. I wouldn't pick it because I feel like a soulmate is only exciting because you've gone through the journey of not knowing if that's a soulmate or not. and figuring it out, and then losing soulmates, and then losing potential soulmates, and then finding the one that finding the one that's good for you. I think that the fact that you choose an option that says, right, this person is your soulmate, I think it loses the whole fun in soulmate. I think it makes it boring after that. In fact, I think the excitement of the fact that you're connecting with someone almost disappears and vanishes. So I think that's definitely something that I wouldn't pick. Then in terms of, yeah?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go for it.
So what about people who maybe are worried, like at certain age? I don't know, like I feel I'm very privileged to a certain degree that I was like 19, 20, when I met Indra, What about when people in 20s or 30s kind of thing, and some people think, what if I haven't found my soulmate? Am I going to be on my own kind of thing, So
yeah.
Do you think
But
that's actually a risk?
like...
What if you're taking that risk to be on your own and never finding one?
Okay, of course. But then I think the whole feeling of going to find a soulmate, like planning it and picking it for yourself, I think it loses all the entire emotional connection of actually finding one in the first place. Unless I know that, hold on a second, I've only got 5 years to die, yeah? And I want to spend these 5 years with a soulmate.
You wouldn't know that without the time machine.
I was going to say the same thing. Yeah.
But you know what? I really
But unless I had some indication of the future, I wouldn't. Like obviously, I'd probably just jump on Reese, whoever picked Time Machine, and just ask them for the future, and then make my choice after that. But I wouldn't.
Imagine going 10 years ahead and you're not there. I'm like, shit.
yeah. Vanished, evaporated. But I wouldn't pick it. Okay, cool. With Time Machine, there's two options, two possible routes of a time machine that I can see makes any sense. Number one is you rewinding your life and going back in time to an earlier point in your life. Would I fast forwards? No, because I'm getting closer to my death. So that would never be, and I feel like I'm skipping years, skipping experiences that are part of my life. So that's definitely something I wouldn't do. Would I rewind backwards? Okay, so this is, I think a lot of people that pick the option to rewind backwards are picking the option because they are looking at it from like a monetary value or a financial benefit, or turning around and saying, right, okay, cool. Like if I knew this was going to happen, that, or like I could have invested in Bitcoin, or I could have betted on Leicester winning the Premier League, or whatever it is, and I'll make millions, yeah? But you're only excited about that because of your value for money today. You rewind back in time, and your perception of money would change massively. I think
Marius, can I just respond to that quickly? Because I chose that, right? And I said those things. I had to go along the monetary line. You guys are going quite deep and spiritual with it, but the reason I went down the monetary line is because that's the question that Alice asked. Okay. 70 mil, love of your life, or Time Machine, and I thought, what way can I get all of them and not have a choice?
So here's another thing.
Yeah.
For me, like, could my life have been better to this point? Yeah, maybe it could have. Yeah. Could my life have been worse? Yeah, like it could have. Like we've just experienced COVID. I'm actually really, really happy that no immediate family, yeah, has been affected and harmed and like had to pass away or get seriously ill over the pandemic over the last two. I rewind backwards and I changed the set of events that have led up to today. Yeah. That it's like the butterfly effect. You do one thing, it's going to change something else. It's going to change something else. And although in your head you may have massively gained in one area, you may have massively lost in another area. And I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want to know that I've rewound back in life and then someone in my family's life shortened because of it. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be able to mess with the past that I know is present today.
That's a condition that you're making yourself. Who knows?
Yeah,
Who knows
of course,
if you had more
exactly.
money, you
but
had
I
more
wouldn't want to risk
healthcare.
that. But I wouldn't want to risk that. I wouldn't want to risk the fact that, and you may turn around and be like, oh, you would have done this, you would have done that. Cool. But you may also have been very, very ill. You may have passed away. You may have got hit by a bus. You may have, like, a lot of things could have happened. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you may be in jail. Yeah, you may.
True, because everything affects everything, We don't know, because every time when you change
But these are normal life possibilities.
Of course,
regardless of which door you walk through.
Of course, and it's possibilities that I prepare to take the risk for the future. I'm not prepared to change the past to determine where I am.
But why does Time Machine only do that? What if I choose 70 mil, like Reese and Alice did, right? suddenly you live a very different life. So they're not living the life that they're going to live, the one they've just had last week, right?
Yeah,
They're
but
living a different
your
from
life you would live will benefit the needs that you require today. It's
But what
it's
if-
the
but what
wants
if-
I
Yeah.
want
but what if
today
it- what if
that
it
I
takes-
would be able to make a
100%,
change for.
But what if it takes them on a plane, which ordinarily they wouldn't have been on a plane, and that plane crashes now?
Okay, cool. But that's what I'm saying. I'm prepared to take them
There you
risks for
go.
the future.
There are risks
I'm not
everywhere.
prepared to take
Yeah.
them risks to change the past.
Because you could
I don't
choose
want to
not to
know
change
that
your
my
life.
life shortened because of me making that decision. Yeah,
I think-
I
but
don't
I
want to.
think-
I don't want
yeah.
to know that like suddenly something's happened to someone close to me.
I think
Yeah, I would want to take them
everybody
risks.
everybody chooses according to, no matter how many scenarios and rules we wanted to put before this, live stream.
Yeah.
Actually, everybody chooses based on where they see themselves right now and
Yeah.
how they see. If I was to come out of myself and see myself, the reason why I chose what I chose, because indeed, like Marish pointed out as well, it is the safest option that does not change anything in the rules of the universe.
And
And
I
it
think in terms of-
satisfies some needs.
Yeah, of
let's
course.
Can
say.
I throw something in?
Yeah, go
Imagine
for
you
it.
choose your soulmate and it turns out to be different one than you have right now.
Yeah, that I would have been really
Exactly.
gutted probably.
That would be funny, innit? Imagine
That
it's
would
like
not be funny.
you have with your boyfriend, and actually some of us have been here like more than a decade, okay, 15 years plus with the same person. Imagine, pick soulmate. Who are you?
Yeah,
That
exactly.
would be funny.
And how would,
Definitely
you
not
act,
married.
how
Where's my
would you
wife?
act with someone knowing that this person you're destined to be with? Do you know what I mean? Like, how would you deal
What
with
if it's
them?
almost like a
person you
burden.
met, isn't it?
I think
And you meet your
relationship
first
decisions
love or
are
something.
exciting because sometimes
The lead up to
you
it,
know
isn't it?
you've got the option to walk away from it. But if I'm dealing with bullshit from my partner, yeah, and suddenly I'm like, well,
I
I
have to
can't
be
walk
with
away
you
from it
we're
because
meant to be together.
because
That's
I'm never
what-
going to get better.
because that's
than
what's
this.
been-
Do
yeah,
you know what I
'cause
mean?
that's what I've
Like,
been told.
Yeah.
it changes your whole perception on everything.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
All right. So in the
Peter,
end,
can we
Marish,
hear from Peter? Or
one,
shall we
one
spin
second,
the
guys.
Peter?
In the end, Marish,
Just
you're going
spin Peter,
to
see
choose the
if
70
it's gonna be
mil,
me or
right?
it's
I'm
gonna be
choosing the
Mindy again.
money. I'm taking the money. I'm going to
He's
enjoy
taking
my
the money.
life.
Okay, so
I'm going to go
Miris
to
and
Dubai for the
Irish.
third time attempt.
Plan.
Third time
over the
lucky.
last year.
After,
Okay, seriously
after
spinning
all
the
that,
wheel. This
after
is.
all that bullshit,
Imagine if he gets into the line and it's like, no
We're
one.
going to Peter. Go on, Peter. What
So
did you
like,
choose?
to be honest with you, like for me it was like at the beginning it was no brainer in choosing, and I think for me it was definitely time machine because I thought I can go back, make the money. I can go meet my girlfriend or wait for my girlfriend, stop wasting time with someone else, for example, and then and then make the money, and then have the time machine as a toy. Like me, they want to go, take my girlfriend somewhere or whatever in the future, in the past. But then I was thinking, what if I go to the some ancient times that they don't have electricity, and then I get stuck there because my time machine runs out of battery.
That's an interesting one.
No Tesla chargers.
Imagine. Oh, how do we go back now? No. The problem I think with time machine is, and why I kind of changed my mind, although it's still my second best, is because with time machine, we lose the unknown, and then we lose those like decision making moments where like, oh, should I do that? Should I not do that? This decision will change my life. If you don't have that, I think the adventure is out, and then uncertainty is not going to be out, and then we all need to be uncertain at some points, and to be to go and just jump through. Because if you knew to jump from a cliff would be actually quite cool, you wouldn't have that thrill. So jumping from a cliff, as in cliff diving, I mean, not like jumping actually dying, but like jumping from doing something crazy, it wouldn't be that much more of a, it wouldn't have the
no
feel.
adrenaline to it, would there?
No adrenaline, yeah,
It's
but
very
like, I've done that 100 times. And the reason I thought that way is because I've watched yesterday, I rewatched the movie Next with Nicolas Cage. Have you watched it? No? Cool. So I'm the only weird.
Yeah, I've seen
I
it.
have.
I've seen it as
So
well.
he
yeah,
knows
yeah.
like 2 minutes. Technically, he's a guy that has the special power to know 2 minutes ahead of time.
only on his own life, yeah.
On his own life, yeah.
Yeah,
So like it's very like I'm bringing him way more general, but like if I knew, he knows, and I'm sure like he that's how he started. He goes to like the casino and goes and makes money, like and he goes like explains how he makes small bets so he doesn't get caught and stuff like that. And he makes like he's a magician. Obviously, he could predict the future because he knows 2 minutes ahead. So I thought it would be really cool to have that, and it is a really good toy and really good superpower. But then all the adventurous stuff would be lost. And then as well on the other side is what I thought is that you would change the future when you go back, and then when you come back, the millions, for example, I made, or the things I did, might have changed me completely, so I wouldn't know. So that way, I have no control. Then I have to relive my life. I need to go back and relive just to see where I made a mistake. It's just getting too long. And then now I'm going to be looking for mistakes I did. I don't want to be looking for mistakes. I want to be excited about the future. The only way I would have chosen that is if I needed to save somebody that I really cared for that went into the accident, or warn them or something like that. And unfortunately, in my life, I don't have somebody that, you know, like I have to save. I've not had anyone in an accident or something. So that's the only way I would choose it. So Soulmate, what I believe about Soulmate, why wouldn't I choose it? Not only because I don't have soulmate. If I didn't have a soulmate, I thought with me, if you've been given like money or a soulmate, and then you can't keep it. If you never had a soulmate, you can't find it. It's because you probably don't deserve it, don't know how to like keep it. Because I'm sure there's great people that you could have literally lived your life, but you just couldn't manage it. Why? Because you weren't ready or whatever it is. And I think, I'm not sure if soulmates in what everyone thinks soulmate is, I believe in. I think that soulmate could be pretty much like 50% of the population of the world. That's why we get soulmates with people that are close to us most of the time, or they, you know, we don't have soulmates that are on the other side of the world that we never meet. It's like you'd meet somebody that you live forever, you'd be happy that it's probably like a worker or somebody that you met someplace. So it would be somebody that you met. That means, like, for me, soulmate is one person in the world that could be my soulmate. Is literally not an option. It could be a lot of people. I just choose the person that I come across, kind of thing. So I think I can always find my soulmate, and that's why I choose like the 70 million. Because if I have money, I know
All
it'll
of
be way
that
more.
talk for 70 million, Peter.
Yeah,
I was convinced you were going Soulmate there.
I know, that's the whole point.
Peter, you said if you don't have a 70 mil, but
So-
Peter, you
Go
said
on.
if you don't. No, but Peter, you said if you don't have your soulmate now, you probably don't deserve it. So what about the million? The millions?
Exactly.
Isn't it the same?
No, I know
If you don't have
exactly.
70 mil now, you
But
probably
then
don't
what's
deserve
gonna
it, you don't
happen?
have to
I'm
keep it.
gonna
It's the exact same
exactly.
words you said for soulmate.
So at least I'm gonna learn how to deal when I have money, and what to do with money, because I can always make money, and of course I can always find soulmate. But then I want to make 70 million or even more. That's one of my goals, right? And I want to learn faster. So if I have the money, if I lose it, if something happens with me, I'd much rather take that risk, knowing that I can find a soulmate, because I understand that as long as you know how to manage someone, maybe I guess I have the skills now and I've learned, so I don't want to change that. But if I have the 70 million, I would be able to be way more calmer, learn about how to deal with money or lose a lot of money or make more money. At least my life will be calmer. I'll have more time to spend my time with soulmate rather than going back and forth the time and then looking for people that I'll be weird with. If somebody tells me, this is going to be a soulmate, it's so weird to go and approach that person now. Oh my God, like what do I say? It's like I would mess everything up. But yeah, so that's why I pick up the 70 mil. Because
So
I think...
I think with this, Peter, you really hit the nail on top from some points of view. It goes back to what Marish said earlier, that, you know, to realize you found a soulmate, you have to go through a certain amount of experiences and, you know, go through this journey, because I think we can only connect the dots, you know, looking backwards, isn't it? And then you realize in key moments in your life, there is my soulmate. Or
Exactly.
this definitely is not the person I want to spend maybe more time with, or, you know, the rest
I'd
of my
much
life,
rather
or
put
whatever.
more time. Yeah, much rather put more time about that. But much rather put more time to learn how to have a soulmate and just have the money given, because for me soulmate is more important. So much rather actually go, if I had to pick one, I would pick that, because I don't mind going through burning myself from my inexperience or my lack of experience with soulmates, right? But if I have money, at least I'm a bit more calm about it, and then I can invest and I have money forever and look.
Do you reckon you'd
after people.
find
So-
your
You
real
you can
soulmate
cry in
though
your
with
Ferrari
70
instead of
million?
your-
Do you know what? I
Yeah.
think if I yeah, what's that? I could buy. It's not even that. Even if I'm not flashy, I could just have money and be cool, and then focus on the more important things of life. Now, of course, if I don't know how to deal with money, of course I'll lose it and I have to still gain it. But for me, it's not that important. It's not that scary to lose the money.
Yeah, it's like you're picking. That's what I said. I'm picking the option which I think.
It's not gonna have that much of
Yeah, it wouldn't have as
Damage,
much
yeah.
negative damage for me. Like if I
Yeah,
picked
very
soulmate
true.
and suddenly someone else shows up than Indra, I'll be like, oh shit. Do you think I was your soulmate, but you never noticed me, and now you married this other woman, and you've been married for 20 years? But I was a true one. She is not. She's like 10% off, kind of thing. I'm like, fuck off. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to know my own thing, you know. And I think
there's another option. Obviously, when I think someone must have mentioned it before with the whole time machine. Obviously, we're talking about going back in time, rewinding your life, or fast forwarding your life. There's also continuing your life today in a completely different time period. Yeah. And even if I was to even think of that option, would I want to go back in time when, I don't know, like healthcare was far worse, lifespan was far worse, monetary value was far less, your like just the way of living, the way people conduct themselves, the way
But by that
the
argument, Mari,
lifestyle was just a lot different. It was.
But by
it
that
was
argument,
not-
Mari, shouldn't you go 1,000 years in the future then?
Okay,
All
cool.
that
And
stuff
then
would be
there
even
comes
more
in the
than today.
future. Yeah. Would I really want to be a 30-year-old sat in the future, sitting down, getting so excited about what I'm seeing around me when everyone else is so used to it and thinks it's boring? Yeah. Like your whole perception of reality is different, isn't it? Like, would you do that? Would I go in like 20 years
Yeah,
time?
the perception will
and-
be distorted, isn't it?
Yeah,
Fully
I'd be like,
distorted.
what the fuck is going on? Oh, sorry for swearing, but what the hell's going on? What is going on? Like, this is crazy stuff
I mean,
around me. Yeah.
So I draw, a few conclusions already. That I think, if I'm not wrong, nobody chose Soulmate, right?
No. Peter nearly did. I'm still
Peter
convinced he
nearly
nearly
did.
did.
We're not
No,
sure
no,
what
no.
Peter chose.
I think you know what
70
I was
mil,
gonna say?
70 mil.
Peter's sure what he chose.
70
70
mil is
mil,
always
70 mil with
I
a
get it.
soulmate.
I'll learn how to get Soulmate. If I don't deserve it, don't get it. But I don't mind risking the money.
Okay, so
Can
I've
I
got
say
a
something,
question.
Alice?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh,
Go
sorry.
for it. Go for it. No,
Sorry,
you go for it
I
first,
hope
because I
I'm
wanted to
not
ask a
doing
question.
that. Okay, cool. So it's not about the conclusion, but you know what? That's just my opinion and my feeling. I actually feel very proud of everybody in here, in the sense that we've all worked together, and the idea that most people chose something not because they would like to go and change, or even when we chose money, we didn't choose it. Oh, we don't know how to make money. Does make sense? Everyone here knows you're gonna make money. Everyone here already knows either you have a soulmate or you'll find one because you're good enough and it's gonna come when it's ready, kind of thing. And nobody here was really, oh, I fucked up, I would like to go back in time to fix. Most of us were choosing something what we feel will have the least effect on us. Whereas majority of people are trying to make the biggest change possible in life. I find that majority of us, we're trying to pick a door that will have the least effect on us, kind of thing, nearly. And for me, I'm thinking, well, I'm gonna make my money anyway. I'll be worth millions, so extra 70 million a bit faster probably will not have that big of an effect than me, I don't know, going back in time and changing, as Myra said, or me finding out that my soulmate, which I believe I already have, might be a different person or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's actually quite funny how most of us, if we're not diving in, oh my god, this will be amazing, I'll get 70 million and change my life, or oh my god, time machine, I'll go back to school and pass my grades or something. Most of us are yeah, I think I can make the money, I can do this, I can do that, so I think I'll pick this because that probably won't affect me as much.
It's like extra money ain't gonna be in a
it's
way.
just extra
kind of
bit and
thing.
bob. And the idea that most of us think, 70 mil, yeah, it's extra 70 mil, as if like it's a top up. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of weird way of looking at it.
You know what's the weird thing? When I was really thinking about it the other day, of what I would really pick, and I did this exercise with my husband and my brother as well, what would they pick? And they did not say the same thing like me, fun enough. They said soulmate, both of them, right? And they really thought about it and they said soulmate. And
I
I
don't get it.
said the 70 million.
But that's okay, because if your soulmate picks soulmate and you pick money,
You're both cool.
you
We'll
pick
be
money.
fine.
But what I was trying to say
Unless he gets another soulmate and then you know.
and
then you-
and then I stay with my
you buy yourself
which
another one.
I'm cool anyways, so there you go. No, obviously they're listening to my to what I'm saying as well, so they might not be that fine. But what I was trying
go
to
on.
say with the 70 million, just so I won't lose my thought, is that even though initially it looked like such an amount of money, when I put on paper what I would do with it, I was actually laughing by myself, thinking I actually have debt after it. Because I would want to do so much and I would want to give so much to so many cool things and help so many more other people and things around me, that in the end, when I draw the line and I did some maths, some basic maths, I realized that actually I'm still without any more money. So what I'm trying to say is that even though sometimes things can look like, oh my God, it's such a big amount of money, like some people may think you might retire. Actually, for some of us, it might just only get us started. And like an idea that Peter threw in as well, it might just be like a certain push that some people may need. And it also shows how big or small we think, isn't it, from a certain point of view.
Alice,
yeah.
could I also just clarify as well? I mean, a lot of people chose the money. Technically, I'm choosing the money as well. Just I'm trying to
Bigger
find
money.
a way to have more.
Well,
more. Yeah, that's it.
You
But
did sound like
what-
you were choosing the time machine.
I'm choosing time
That's
machine,
right.
but I'm choosing
He
time
is,
machine to
he
be
is.
in the exact same position.
Yeah,
but
exactly,
with
you're right.
with more than 70 mil.
Yeah, but
He
you gotta
just
remember
wants to
what
make
I
more
use it
money than
for.
us, man. That's all.
Yeah,
Because-
because you've got to remember what you're doing is you're backing yourself to make decisions
Yeah,
that
I'm
will
backing
lead
you,
up
and I am.
to more than 70 million pounds. Yeah, from an earlier stage in your life,
No,
having
no,
to
I get
still
him as well, though.
experience the process up to today. Yeah,
Vish,
But
can I
Marish,
go?
Marish,
70 million is 70 million today, moving forwards. Yeah,
all right, go on, Reese. Let Reese ask this question. Go on.
Here's a quick one because I know you were saying so if you went back in time, let's say 15 years, yeah. Are
Why
you
15?
going back?
Can I choose, or are you telling me 15?
I'm saying 15 because
Okay.
you took the piss with saying that you've been with
It's
your
a trap,
missus for
Vish. It's a
14
trap.
years, so
Back
Go
it.
15. Go 15.
even 10 years, yeah. But are you going back with what you have in your life right now, or are you going back to Vish as 15 years old?
I'm going back to teenager Vishal. I assume that's how
Yeah,
time
yeah,
machine
yeah.
would work. I'm just happening to go
No
with
Rick and Morty one.
30-year-old knowledge.
So where's all the money coming from to be able to bet on all Leicester and stuff like that?
The thing
No,
is,
it's
with
like-
that much knowledge, you can do it with a pound.
Yeah, yeah. No, what he's asking is how would you know if you left yourself in the head? No, but he can go back
But his-
and your
his
body
mi-
changes, but your mind is still the same. That's
Yeah,
that's
so
pretty
I'm
much.
still-
You
I'm
know
still-
what's happening.
right,
you're
right,
just
okay,
younger.
okay.
But
Because
again,
otherwise you'd have like
Younger Vish
two
with
vicious
30
at the
Vish.
same timeline, which is kind of Rick and
And
Morty thing.
here's my thinking. Here's my thinking, right? I know I talk a lot about money and stuff like that, and it sounds like I just want
We
to
all
live
do.
in, mansions and Ferraris and shit like that, right? The fact is, I want to help. I want to help people. I want to help humans too. And the footprint that I can leave behind with 70 mil is zero compared to 100 billion. If that makes sense. So if I've got a chance, and Marish, you put lots of negative conditions on it. I don't know why you only went negative. That family's life will go shorter, your life will be shitter.
no,
It
I'm
could
saying,
also
would
be-
you risk it? I'm saying,
I
would
would
you
risk it, and here's why I'd risk it. Here's why I'd risk my
the
own
bigger picture, yeah.
my own circle of friends and family. If their life was shitter or shorter, here's why I'd risk it. I could fucking save billions of people.
Yeah, for a bigger picture, you're right. No, I
you're-
completely
your-
understand.
Your
I could
perception on your
eradicate
friends and
diseases.
family. Some of your
I
friends
would-
are your friends based on your life today. Yeah, like
I would
You're
honestly-
changing potential outcomes. You're also potentially.
I could
turning around
save
and saying-
billions of people, not
Yeah.
pounds, people.
Yeah, no,
you
you're
could
right.
also
yeah.
create a lot of unhappiness. Yeah, you could sit there and have loads and loads of money. Yeah, be the most, which obviously you're not. But I'm saying like you could become this really stingy person that becomes a really really unhappy, grumpy person.
But no,
Yeah,
no,
but you
but
can
there's
do
a
it with
reason-
7
there's a
million.
reason-
I don't know,
no,
like
no,
depression
there's a
down the line.
reason. There's a reason I went back and took those risks. It was for my beliefs and values that I have.
Yeah.
So
But-
that wouldn't change. And again,
Yeah,
you
I'm
keep
with Vish
focusing
on that one. I'm with Vish
You
on
keep
that one. Yeah.
focusing on
I'm
the
with Myers.
negative that could happen. That
Why
Yeah,
do you
but okay,
think
cool.
Vishal-
Here's this. The
Can we-
people
David,
that you've
can you
met
put
in
us-
your life.
David, can you put us 6 on the screen? Yeah, go.
Sorry. Can I just say the people you've met in your life, your friends and your family, are because of the life you've lived up until now.
Yes.
You go back and you change them. Your friends that you think are your friends are not necessarily your friends anymore. Yeah. You go and make little changes. Your focus that you may put in other areas.
But I would
mean
risk
that you
that.
wouldn't
I
have
would
put
risk
focus.
that to
Can
bring
I say
water
another
to
bit
every
on
child.
Myrish?
So what
Because I
you're
want-
turning around saying you'd risk having a new set of friends, yeah? You risk to
What about
swap
us?
your friends round to potentially change
Yeah,
your
Vish.
potential
would-
surrounded circle. We may not even know you, Vish. You may be a
Actually,
stranger
that's
to
fine.
us.
Okay,
Yeah?
all right.
Vishal,
Marish,
Vishal,
Marish.
what Vishal,
Marish,
what
Marish,
makes
let me
you
speak.
think?
Marish, let me speak.
Can I say one more thing, please, Vishal? What
on.
makes you think that those other people need saving? Maybe they are in their own journeys as well.
It's
learning
very
their
delayed,
own
but
things.
yeah.
You know, sometimes we think,
That
oh,
is
if I
a
have
really
a lot of
good
money,
point.
I'm going to run back on all the poor countries, give everyone food and money.
At least
Maybe they
but
just doing their own
Minde,
thing.
but Minde,
Yeah?
Yeah, go.
Here's the delay.
Is a delay? I don't have delay.
at least. So yeah, but by the way, there's a delay, so it looks like we cut each other off, but we're not. So firstly, Marish, it's not a risk to maybe not know you if I rewind life again. All right.
okay.
Number two.
It's not a risk.
All right, see you
Number
next
two.
week, mate. Take care. Bye.
Wow.
Number two, you can argue that they're happy, and of course, you know, they might be fine and going their own journey. But to know that I did whatever I could have to stop children dying needlessly, I will do it. And honestly, I'm not that attached in the sense to my circle that I would rather keep my circle at the cost of billions of other humans.
Yeah, but you've
So,
also got to
Vishal,
remember.
I have a question after, yeah.
Sorry, can I just counteract that? With,
Yeah,
with,
go for
with
it.
70 million, you can stop children dying today. Like,
But
you
as
don't
I
have to
started,
live
my first
an entire
line,
life and risk everything.
but
to
my
stop
first
that
line
happening.
was with the footprint that 70 mil can leave versus 100 billion is very
Yeah,
different.
but no, it's not.
But it's not like you can't make 100
you're,
billion
you're,
from
you're saying
70
it
million.
wrong. You're saying it wrong, Vish. What you're saying is the footprint 70 million can leave to the potential footprint that you hope that you can earn to 100 billion. Yeah,
But
like,
no, we're
it's-
assuming
it's-
we're assuming a number higher than 70 mil. Can we agree on a number? 5 billion.
Okay,
Let's just
cool.
assume that I'm going to
We're
make that. If I
assuming
rewind.
that everything's perfect. We're assuming that you're healthy. We're assuming that you've like you're again lots of things.
Well, for
have
sure I'm
not
healthy
changed
because
in
I've,
your
I've
life.
been alive for the last 10 years. So if I rewind 8 years, I know I'm cool for the next 8 years at least.
No.
yeah,
point.
yeah,
You're
but if you
cool-
change something, maybe
you're
something
cool
else
based-
happens.
Exactly. You're
Exactly.
cool based
But this
on your
is
life right
this
now.
is the risk
Exactly.
I'm willing to take to
Okay.
have
Michelle,
Here's,
a
here's the
multiplier.
question. Here's
You
the
only
question
fit
that-
because you was in the field, breathing fresh air, walking around 6 to 8 hours.
But not
If you
not
got-
everyone was in not every human was in the field for in their 20s.
Loads of
They're
them
still alive.
died as well.
Wow.
Here's the question. Do you think being able to access a time machine would create an addiction to keep on
100%.
Bingo.
using
Of
it?
course.
And where do you
110%.
stop? Where do you
Then-
stop? That was the thing. One of the things that came to my head when I thought, would I choose it? Because I was
When
very
it when it
tempted
breaks.
when it breaks.
Because there's no way that you go back, get, I don't know, do anything to help people, and then you're good. You get back to where
And
your
then you
life
think,
is now.
"Oh, I
and
can
you
help you
carry
no
on.
more."
Do something more.
Then you go, actually, wait, I forgot about this person. Go back again, get more money, go back
Then
again.
that reflects
and
on everything,
then,
yeah.
And then it goes to the point of what you were saying earlier, that if you have 70 million, then it might change who the person you are now. But if you go back and get 5 billion, there's 110% more chance you're going to change the person you're going to become, let alone the person
don't-
that you are
but
right
It's
now.
not. It's
But
not
if
even that,
if I had
it's
to
also-
sacrifice the person I am
To save others.
to
Yeah, no, I get it.
help
Yeah.
others,
No,
then I would.
I
Okay,
get
but
that,
your
yeah.
health,
And
Vishal,
also
your
what you're
health.
writing, you're writing a Hollywood film right now as well.
No,
I'll
but
tell you-
Vishal,
We-
when you say
aren't we
health,
all?
You mean you want to give people outcomes that you believe they are due, kind of thing, isn't it? Right? But I think everyone kind of.
I mean, if
does
I
their
I
own-
put-
It's like
if
we're
we put-
playing God, isn't it?
if
It's like
you
we're
put
playing
one-
God.
yeah,
and
a
that's
little
one
bit,
thing I
a little
wouldn't like
bit.
to do. Yeah.
A little bit.
It's
If,
like-
if I put, for example, 2 billion into cancer research, right, or heart disease research, does that expedite that shit into the cure?
Why don't
or
you just
solution
advertise
faster?
healthy lifestyle instead? Because I think
Do you-
most
On social
do you know
media,
to
yeah.
a certain
Then I could do that. I could do it all. I could
To
do
a
it all.
maybe
certain
just
extent,
hire
this
loads
is-
of a
this is
huge
what some
army to
people-
just to bomb pharmaceutical companies and people. that
Jamie
pollute.
Olivers. Hire loads of Jamie Olivers. To
Yeah,
cook
I
for
just
everyone.
get.
Do
You
you know
know-
what would happen, Vishal, if you were
Marcus
to get
Rashford.
to that level? My opinion is you will get as much hate and all this bad. And now I know I put my hands up. Loads of you might jump on me and say like virtually and say like, oh, she's not right. But you know the hate Bill Gates, people like Bill Gates are getting for potentially having a bigger purpose.
It's
And all
disgraceful.
this-
He's fucking saved like 20% of the world. But I
All
get
right,
what you're
so
saying.
there you
yeah.
go. So at least one person agrees with some stuff. But anyways, I don't want
Yes.
to turn this into a debate about Bill Gates. But what I'm trying to say, when you get to that level and you genuinely have a better purpose, the sad part of the people that we also want to save, and we want to see this world as a better paying place. Sadly, it comes with that responsibility and it comes with that consequences. That's my point of view.
100%.
It's a big burden I personally wouldn't take on. But if you would, well, I commend you. But
I went back.
It's an
I
interesting
went back. If everything was purely just for personal stuff, I would just take 70 mil because that's enough for me and my future line of family. There's very little I can do with 70 mil outside for other people. I know it's a lot of money. I know, but
Okay.
70 mil is
Can
only
I
a bit
say
of
something?
generational
Sorry,
wealth.
before you,
So-
I want to say something as well about the Bill Gates thing, right? Actually, me and Indra had this conversation
Go on, Mindy.
recently, right? No, for real, right? This is for real, right? Of course, and actually, hopefully, a lot of people I know don't watch that because I have friends in both camps, kind of thing. Let's be honest, and I think about 50-50. So I'll never be able to be okay with everyone I know because I get killed from one side and another. But for example, personally, I do not believe that Bill Gates is trying to kill, let's say, the planet, right? I don't believe that. even though that's actually a lot of people do believe that, right? But what I do believe that a lot of people who are very sophisticated, right, and like Bill Gates or like a lot of people who have a lot of influence and are very very clever, the same as Vishal just said, they can find a ways of saving the world, kind of thing, right? The same as Elon Musk, for example. Now we want to go to Mars and colonize Mars in the sense that actually we would have a spare planet to live on. So that gives us a second chance, kind of thing, right? You know, in case if we should be interplanetary species, right? And that's assuming that whatever happens on Earth. Some people get angry about Elon Musk saying, why don't you spend your time to save this planet? Why would you go to another planet, right? But the reality is, I do believe everybody is doing whatever they can. Elon Musk is trying to find another planet. Bill Gates probably is trying to save the planet with vaccinations, right? But part of these vaccinations would be as well that, let's say, if it was to save 90% of population, logically, and sacrifice 10% of population, that means we save 90% of population, right? Well, what happens if you are part of 10% of populations that get sacrificed, right? It's like, would you like to be sacrificed? Now, the one that sacrifices, like Ali said, that's playing God, it makes logical sense to sacrifice 10% to save 90%. But if you're part of 10%, you probably might not be okay to be sacrificed for 90% to live, right? And then my issue is that when we start coming with solutions, for example, like we're coming into indigenous areas like Amazon forest, Indonesia, whatever, and we teach people to read, write, and do maths and work in offices, and we strip them of their rights, okay, of understanding the planet, understanding the nature and stuff like that. We call it education, but actually we're killing very old school education, by bringing our own education in those areas. So, and of course, from our perspective, we are right, because those people make more money kind of thing right now. But actually, their way of life is being completely destroyed kind of thing. So what I'm trying to say that, of course, we could save children, but my belief is that a lot of those children are dying from diseases that have been brought in by Western world in the first place. And sometimes I think if we just get involved less with those people, they are happy and they live. A lot of those people die in a lot of countries because we got involved in the first place in there. And then we come to save them later kind of thing, So my question is, like, when we're coming to save, sometimes we're coming to save to bring them our own way of life, thinking that their way of life is
it's like
primitive.
colonizing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit like Avatar kind of thing. We rock up and it's like, you get no ships, man, what the fuck, you guys flying on dragons a little bit, But when you really get deeper into it, those people are actually at present, they are happier. How come people in poor countries actually a lot of times have a higher happiness index than people in developed countries? Because they have less anxiety, because they have less options and stuff like that, So I think my bit will be there, that sometimes people who are trying to save us, they're trying to save us based on their own perception. And I do.
It's a little bit like our parents, isn't it? A little bit like our parents when they don't know what they're talking about. They tell us to do things that would not work nowadays.
Yeah,
or
but
it would be
work
very...
a day,
I get, Mindy,
the
I
same
get what
Bill
you're
Gates,
saying.
he might actually, do you believe that there's some rich people in the planet right now who believe that world overpopulation is a problem? And they might think that saving us might be cutting the population. But cutting the population, even though it sounds very nice word, means killing a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, when we have the war for peace kind of thing, I think Eckhart Tolle speaks about it a lot in it. It's like, we won the war, but like 100 million people died. So did we really win the war? Like
Yeah,
100
exactly.
people. Like
Mindy, I get what
killed-
you're saying, Mindy, but again, I didn't say to go down that line of going into Amazon forest. I'm just making the point that there are some universal problems in the world that could be the solution could be expedited with more money thrown at it.
Yeah, no,
And that money is not coming from other places in the world. So if
But
I
there
manage to
is
accumulate,
already enough money in the world, though, isn't
Can
it?
I
Like
can I just say
sometimes-
can I say
it's
one
in
thing?
it's in different places.
Oh,
I
it's
just say
not...
one
Yeah,
thing? I think also one key area to establish is your perception of what's important in life, or your perception on how you think about certain things will be so different if you go back in time. Like what you thinking is all this change that you can make. Imagine you go back in time and you start doing things that you think make a difference, yeah? And apparently, like we mentioned before, imagine you start getting addicted to this concept. Now, everything that happens in your head, you'll be like, oh, do you know what? I wish I could go back in time again and do it again. Do you know what I mean? Like, now that you know that's a possibility,
But it sounds
now that
like-
you know
it
that's
sounds
something
like-
that could be done,
but
your
let's be-
appreciation to
Morris,
anything that happens
Morris.
will not exist.
Let's be very honest, right? I'm the only one
Yeah.
who chose Time Machine, so it looks like we're all just trying to poke holes in Time Machine, right? If you guys let me speak, I will poke holes fully in 70 mil. Like all over the place.
Go for
all the
it.
negative.
Go for it.
Go
I'm
for
the
it.
host.
What
I'm
a
the
shame
I'm
host
it's
ready,
this
5
but
minutes left.
unfortunately, we've
So-
only got 2 minutes left.
But okay,
you can
but-
choose-
yeah, we-
I'll stay on for another half an hour. I don't
Say
care.
as
I'm
much
on
as
it.
you
You
want
can
in
choose
2
to
minutes.
poke. Yeah.
No,
to
but
poke
No,
a
I
couple
think-
of
I think
people,
we should end. We
and
should
then
end
we'll
in
go
a
for some
couple of
questions.
minutes. And the whole idea is there's no right answer, right?
Yeah,
I'm
of
sure we
course.
all agree that, right?
Yeah,
But-
definitely
but
there
choosing,
isn't. Yeah.
choosing
Opinion.
70 mil, like if I choose time machine, right? Even if we put some stipulations on it that I can't go back in time for profit reasons, right? And it's purely just a gimmick to experience different times, of this world.
Eras.
It's the one thing I can keep. I could lose my soulmate unless we're putting.
How do you know? You might break it.
And you could lose
But
yourself.
you could lose 70 mil.
going back
You could
in
lose
time.
some.
You,
Yeah.
you
could
can lose the
70
time
mil.
machine.
That
You could
way
lose
less
yourself,
amount of
mate.
money. Way less amount of money have made people turn into a different person and crazy.
But
Way
do you know
less.
what that shows?
Way
It
less.
shows also your appreciation for today. Yeah, like
But you could
sometimes
lose
you
it.
go back
You
in
could lose
time.
it.
Sometimes you go back in time. It's showing a lack of appreciation for today. I feel it's like
Vish,
if
also
I
you're-
choose
What
time machine,
fucking
it's like I'm
fucking
turning around-
today's God are you trying to impress?
I apologise for swearing. We're live on air, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but
I've
Vish,
sworn a few times. But who you trying to impress that I'm happy with today, mate? I'm happy with.
No,
today.
I'm not. I'm saying there's got to be some sort of gratitude to what you've got today. Like, I'm happy my family are
I mean, that's
healthy.
bullshit.
I'm
Why
happy
can't I be-
they've
why
gone
can't-
through diseases and this
Why
pandemic.
can't I show
and come out
gratitude in
other
the
side.
past or in
Yeah?
the future?
Sorry, say that again.
Why can't I show gratitude at any point in my life?
Yeah,
Why
but
can't
like
I
I
show
don't want to
gratitude
risk
at
it.
any point in
I
my
don't
life?
wanna
Bast
risk
is your-
that my family's health is going to be perfect again during another whole journey of my life. Yeah, I don't want to risk that things that have happened in the past are going to roll out the exact same way to like create the same sort of happiness I've got today, or what me and my little cat here. Yeah.
there we go.
Sophie.
Oh, that is a
Okay,
cute
but
cat.
Myrish,
All right.
what if?
Yeah.
Because you're giving me a lot of what if
Yeah, go on.
going backwards gives you more happiness in the present moment.
Yeah, but it's not the point.
It-
The point is I wouldn't risk it.
The point
The
is, it
point
could
is,
be there.
like 70 million is enough for me to satisfy the needs I've got today and create a base for the future. Do you know what I mean? But
Right.
I wouldn't
Alice, shall we
risk
move on to
That-
questions?
retreating.
Yeah, I think so. And do you know what? Because obviously we could go on and on and on, and I guess that's what this topic, is really amazing because it creates so much debate. And I'm actually curious to see, what some people from the audience thought. So I wanted to ask, some of you, to help me out, and read some of the questions. But obviously we won't have time for all of them. So maybe Reese, can you pick a question, whichever impressed you
It's on,
the
it's, on,
most?
it's on the screen,
So
Alice.
we'll go
It's
for
on the
this
screen.
one. Do you want
Go
me
for
to
it, Reese.
I'll read
Yeah,
it out.
you
So-
can read one of it.
So surely 70 million is more than you need to live on. So if you would choose one option, what else? Would...
This option. If you
Oh,
chose
sorry.
70
So
mil.
if you choose this option, what else would you do with this money? What would you do with this money?
I'm
Create
asking you,
businesses
Reese, you
and
chose
So
create
70 mil.
basically,
businesses
this is a question
Invest,
for
help charity,
for the
charities,
ones that obviously
businesses.
chose 70 million, isn't it? Yeah.
help people across the world. Like
Learn
you
how
said.
to use this money. Learn how to like.
Morris, they
like
don't
use
need
the
help
economy.
in.
From today.
By helping them, you might
helping.
fuck up your own family's life.
To give my opinion as well, even though I want to be charitable,
Go on, Alice.
I actually put top of the list, to buy a huge duplex house where all my family can enjoy together, and have loads
No.
of animals. So there you go. So I won't be as
Now,
charitable.
Alice, outside
first,
of your
yeah?
life, Alice, outside of your life, what would you do with it? Your own personal
outside
expenditure.
of my personal life, well, my second thing that I would have done, funny enough, it was still in my personal life, was to go on a sabbatical year and travel all around the world and don't stop for a year. It's called the sabbatical year.
With Minde.
On Minde's boat.
separate.
That
we
sounds like
might
Minde's
meet up.
boat.
We might meet up at some key points, but I don't think for 1 year together.
Can I ask a question with this? Surely 70 million is more than you need to live on. I don't think. Do you reckon you could finish the rest of your life with 70 million?
Yeah, you could, yeah, if you invest. Yeah, easy.
I
I
think
mean,
so.
yeah, yeah.
We're
I mean,
assuming-
like
assuming you
investing
make
and
70
stuff like
million
that.
more.
No, I mean, but if you decide
But guys,
70 million,
can
then
I
that's
can
what
I
you could
just
do.
can I explain this question because it's from my sister? So
Yeah,
Go
go
on
for
then.
it.
Go on then.
you obviously you and her have different thoughts on how much money you need to live. Does that make sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to my sister, 70 mil is more than you need to live on. It depends what type of life you're looking to live. Firstly,
yeah.
but she's basically asking for all the people who chose 70 mil. Is there anything else you'd do outside of
Yeah, I think-
the money
I
that
think-
you would spend on your own life?
I think I definitely would.
I read that
obviously
terribly,
live my
sorry,
life.
now I get
I
it.
would. Big ones are I would definitely invest. I would definitely help people. I would like to help people set up their own businesses, new business ideas.
What do you think, you're a dragon?
Yeah. Become a dragon, mate. Yeah. But I think a big thing I'd love to help. I'd love to help my person. I love to help my home country. I'd love to help Sri Lanka. I'd love to do some work there. I'd love to help build a school there. I'd help that community develop. I'd love to do something like that. It'd be great.
Yeah, I can. I resonate with Marish as well. I
Yeah.
put down on the list, helping back, people in Romania, because it's incredible how, how much poverty actually there is there, and how many people drop out of school, and illiteracy is so high. So there are loads of other projects, of course, that I would do as well outside of myself personally, and I think different people would choose similar things, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, even for myself, I mean, the same kind of thing. Of course, I'd invest and look after my family. It's always been a big dream of mine to build a school in a foreign country, and I reckon that would set a high enough foundation to start that project on there. Start my own charity, which I'd love to do. But yeah,
I would
endless
even know. I would even know. I was gonna say
Very
same
good
things like
question.
you, but like I would just have money to be able to have time to like follow what my heart wants. I'll be like sitting there, I've got money. What I want to do, I just look outside. I'm like, first thing that is, I'm gonna just take an adventure. I'm gonna see that guy. I'll help him out. I'll just do something like whatever it is. I'll paint a picture, trying to like promote it, put million. I don't know. Anything that comes to my heart at the moment, I'll just be super adventurous. I just go and do things, and then see where my heart's gonna lead me. Because then I don't have to worry about like paying bills and all that stuff.
I agree with Peter
It
to
will
a
give you
certain degree.
courage, right?
I think
Can I just say, this episode has been a fantastic episode. And,
Thank you.
crazy,
great
isn't it?
choice, Alice.
It came from
Great
Alice.
choice.
Alice created.
Alice had the
this,
time machine, okay, and then she knew what's up.
So
Alice, it
so
was
we,
her
we can
idea.
always
It
thanks
got me to
guys.
fight with Vish again, which we love doing.
I know, which we all love doing. And I'm sure some of
I
the
reckon
people
you
in
two
the
just get your own
audience
show.
do.
Honestly,
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
She lost again.
Exactly.
Kapoor and
Just don't do it at the
Kapoor
same time
versus
with us.
Skunterball, there we go.
My guys are liking the comment of what today's God are you trying to impress? I think I'm gonna put it on a t-shirt.
Do you know
With
what?
Boris's face.
We can always continue, next Friday as well.
Actually, a
Because
lot, I
clearly, we still haven't finished our opinions. But obviously, I am conscious of the time. So I guess it's time for an ending to this. Although I know everybody maybe would like to carry on. But yeah, I'm really happy with how things went, this evening, and I'm really happy about the fact that we all had the courage to actually say how we feel about the options, we would all, take, and regardless of how, we all put things across, the conclusion, from my point of view as a host, is one that we all would choose according to where we all are in our lives right now. And maybe the fact that we've been through a whole year of pandemic, maybe the fact that we've been through 3 lockdowns, maybe because some of our businesses, have been affected, made some of us look more look more from a pragmatic point of view, and maybe that's why some of us have chosen, the 70 millions, and some of us, like Vishal, for example, have chosen, the time machine, because obviously he clearly would like to catch up on this year that maybe for him did not exist, and he would like to do more. I don't know, it's at the end of the day, it's for all of us. And for people out there, who have watched us or who are going to watch our episode, feel free, to watch us, to continue watching us on YouTube, and obviously post your comments. For me, it's clear tonight when I'm going to go into my La La Land, right, and have a good sleep. I probably might, go on and dream of what I would do, with my 70 million, or maybe what I would do to get to that stage where I could have that amount of money and create that type of lifestyle. And I think, to end it like that, even though some people may think I'm very naive still, I think it's nothing wrong to dream. And I think everything happens in here first. And then we create everything out there, right? It sounds cheesy, but it's so true. So all I want to wish everybody, from all the panelists, but also to everybody who's watching us out there, keep dreaming, and after that, keep writing plans, because most of the things, that we're dreaming, if we work hard enough and if we generally have a good strategy, and we all know all those key points for success will become true. But everything starts with a dream. So that's what I want to wish you with, to leave you with. Keep dreaming, and I'm sure we will all be able to open some of those doors. Maybe in the near future, maybe in the a bit more long-term future, but we will. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks a lot to all the panelists for being so patient with me. as well, to be able to host this amazing episode. And I'll see you all next Friday at 6 p.m. Have a nice evening, everybody. Bye
Bye, everyone.
bye.
See you later.